Today I'm going to show you how I shade hair over a face, and I am going to be using Pan Pastels, a pencil, and a colored pencil for this today. So as you can see, I already have a face that I've completed. I did this with Pan Pastels, and I don't have a lot of color, so I just want to go over quickly what I've done. I used blue just in the areas where I would normally shade a face, and I have a couple of videos on how to shade a face already loaded, so you can take a look at those. Same concept, only instead of watercolor, or excuse me, wax pastels, I used the Pan Pastels. And so I've used just the tones of the blue and this brown in all of the shaded areas, used this white and this kind of fleshy color in the lighter areas, following the same concept. I also used a black marker to kind of go ahead and get into all of the areas like the eyelashes, the eyebrows, and some of the outlining. But you'll notice that I didn't outline around the edge of the hair, and the reason for that is I think it gives a nicer look if it's a little bit softer. So let's go ahead and get started. I did use a pencil and kind of just kind of barely outline where I think I want the hair to flow. My plan is to have her hair look like it's kind of behind her neck on this side and kind of flowing off in this direction. So we'll see how that works. I don't have a lot of Pan Pastel tools. I've just started playing with Pan Pastels. I'm really liking them. So I do have one of these little tools with the little rounded, softly rounded cover. I'm not really going to be using that one all that much. I also have one of the larger sponges, which I will use if I decide I want to lay down a lot of color. I have used a lot of makeup sponges with other projects. I use them with paint, and I've played with using them to smear the wax pastels. But I did find that if I cut off an edge, I had a little small piece that I could use to kind of get into some of the tighter little areas. I may or may not use that. But what I have been finding that I'm really liking is this tool that has a very sharp square edge and then a nicely rounded edge. And I find that I'm liking these two edges more than the majority of the other tools. So let's go ahead and get going on the hair. As I only have limited colors, I will be using the colors that I do have. I'm not really mixing the colors except for what already happens in the hair. So we'll talk about the highs and lows of what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm going to start with the brown color first, and I'm just going to start to kind of give myself a sense of how the movement of the hair. And if you're not really sure what to do about hair, I've always had a hard time with it. I have found that a lot of smaller lines get me a end look that I like a lot more than trying to do just a few big strokes. But I'm really just trying to kind of follow the little pencil lines that I did just to try to get myself going in the direction that I want it to go. Because of the limited color palette that I have, I could do some sort of reddish brown color that this is, but you'll see by the time I'm done, I actually have quite a bit of variety just with the colors. It's just all in how you blend them and what you end up doing with it. And I do have, I'm using a camera that's only going to let me record for about 6 minutes or so. So I will, if I need to, I'll come back with a second video. Okay, so you can see I've laid down some base color. Doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's gotten me started. And if I need to make any corrections, now would be the time to do it. And so let's go ahead. I am going to take that that sharper edge and go in with a little bit of black. This is going to look kind of ghastly now, but when it's all said and done, it'll start to kind of look like shadows in the hair, which is kind of nice. And again, I'm just kind of following that basic outline of how I wanted the hair to flow off of the top of her head. Almost looks kind of like a lion's mane. Let's see. if her hair was falling kind of naturally, it would start to have some movement more like this. Okay, so we have a lot of black now. And the next color I'm going to put in here is green. And you might ask, why is green? And I just think, because that's the colors I have to play with. And since there's no rules, I can make her hair whatever color I want. It also makes for some interesting tones in the final image. I tend to use technology in my creative process. And so when I'm done with my images, I often will take a photo of it and then go back in with some photo software, phone apps, just whatever I feel like playing with at the time. I don't have any one specific one I use. I probably have 7 or 8 actually that I go in and play with. Almost always for my final image, I will kind of amp up the saturation of the colors, because it helps the layers underneath pop. I tend to do a lot of layers underneath the face, and in this one you can kind of see along the edge. This is a gel print that I made recently on my Gelli Arts gel printing plate, and so you can kind of see some of the layers in the face. After I've taken the photo, it'll look a lot better. So I'm just about out of time. I am going to go ahead and stop the video, but I'll come back with a second one and finish it up. Okay, thanks for watching.